Have you ever just stopped and wondered why, for almost all of human history, life was just so hard? Why, for thousands and thousands of years, most people were stuck in poverty? It's honestly one of the biggest puzzles in history, and today we're going to dig into it. I mean, think about it. For millennia, any kind of progress was just painfully slow. Life for our ancestors was pretty much what that old philosopher Hobbes called it: nasty, brutish, and short. So what was the deal? What was holding everybody back for so long? Well, it turns out the answer isn't some single event. It's more like a constant, hidden tug-of-war between two massive forces. The best way to picture it is an engine that's always trying to push humanity forward, and a really powerful set of brakes that keeps getting slammed on, again and again. Okay, so let's start with that engine. This is humanity's natural spark. It's our built-in drive to invent things, to trade with each other, to build, to just make life a little bit better. It's not something new. It's fundamental to who we are. The historian E.L. Jones put it perfectly. He said, you can basically see all of economic history as this giant struggle. On one side, you've got our natural drive to grow, and on the other side, you have something he called rent-seeking. And folks, that's the powerful break we need to talk about. Now, the story you usually hear is that the world was economically flat until, bam, the Industrial Revolution hit Britain with steam engines and factories. But that's not really the whole story. The fascinating thing is that this engine for growth wasn't a one-time thing. It's been firing up all through history. I mean, just look at Song Dynasty China. They had what was basically their own industrial revolution with iron, printing, you name it. The Roman Empire created this huge, bustling common market. Heck, even ancient Mesopotamia had real bursts of growth. So the point is, this engine of progress has always been there, trying to roar to life. So this leads us to the real mystery, right? If we've always had this creative spark, this drive to improve things, why did all these periods of growth just fizzle out? Why couldn't they last? What was this force that was constantly hitting the brakes? And here's where we meet the brakes: rent-seeking. But this isn't just a simple story of greed. The crazy thing is, for most of history, slamming the brakes on the economy was the price you had to pay to keep the peace. So, what on earth is rent-seeking? Well, put simply, it's about getting rich by rigging the system, not by creating anything new or valuable. It's when you use your political connections to get a monopoly, to block your competitors, or get some other special privilege. You're not making new wealth, you're just taking it from someone else. Here's the easiest way to think about it. Growth is all about baking a bigger economic pie for everyone. Rent-seeking is just fighting over who gets the biggest slice of the pie we already have. It's a zero-sum game, and that kind of conflict just kills off the innovation that would have made the pie bigger in the first place. Okay, but here is the crucial twist. It is so easy to just paint rent-seekers as the villains, but there's this incredible argument from the book Violence and Social Orders that says for most of history, this whole system was the only thing preventing societies from just collapsing into violent chaos. They call this system the natural state. You can think of it as the default operating system for pretty much every society for the last 10,000 years. The basic problem is this: you always have powerful, violent groups in any society. So how does a ruler stop them from fighting all the time and tearing the place apart? Well, the ruler basically buys them off. He gives these powerful elites special economic deals. These are the rents, like a monopoly on salt or exclusive rights to trade. All of a sudden, those elites have a very good reason to keep the peace and support the ruler. Why? Because if a war breaks out, they lose their profitable privileges. It's a clever way to turn rivals into allies, but the side effect is absolutely devastating for the economy. It crushes competition and innovation. So for thousands of years, this was the trap. You could have peace or you could have growth, but you couldn't really have both. But then, in one small part of the world, something amazing started to happen. The actual rules of the game began to change, and humanity finally started to escape this cycle. Starting a few hundred years ago, in places like the Netherlands and Great Britain, that old balance between the engine of growth and the brakes of power started to tilt in a new direction. A whole new way of organizing society started to bubble up. And this new system is called an open access order. Instead of limiting all the good opportunities to a handful of powerful insiders, this new model is built on creating rules that apply to everyone, no matter who you are or who you know. The whole game is now designed to encourage competition, not to shut it down. This shift completely rewired society. In the old natural state, the law was personal.
It all depended on who you were. But in an open access order, the law is impersonal. The same rules are supposed to apply to everyone. The government's job is no longer to be the dealer of special favors, but to be an impartial referee that makes sure the game is played fairly.
And with this incredible shift, the brakes finally came off. That engine of human ingenuity that had been sputtering along for millennia was at last unleashed. This is it. This is the beginning of the modern world, the origin of what we call capitalism and sustained economic growth.
Now, this might all sound like something that happened a long time ago, but this exact same framework is one of the most powerful tools we have for understanding the world right now, especially the huge inequalities we see all around us. Why isn't the whole world rich? Well, a huge part of the answer is that many countries today, particularly across much of Africa, are still running on the old natural state operating system. The political logic is the same. Rulers keep a fragile peace by handing out economic privileges to powerful groups. So the takeaway here is that this old system is very much still with us. Anytime you see a country where who you know is more important than what you can do, or where a powerful company gets protected from competition, you are seeing the logic of the natural state at work. And making that jump to a truly open system, well, it's one of the hardest things a society can do. So this ancient struggle really is the story of our modern world. It's this constant tension between creating new wealth for everybody and the political logic of just carving up the existing pie for a powerful few. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you have this framework, when you look around the world, where do you see this exact same tug of war happening right now?